Hi, this is Mac with PriceActionTradingSystem.com, and this is Friday, May the 25th. This will serve as our chart lesson. Hopefully everybody had a great trading day today. I know that a lot of people struggle on days like this, but I like these kind of days because they're so predictable. And all this was a tight trading range today. And you can see where I drew the line for my resistance area and where I drew it for the support. And actually at the open, it would have started right here. And there was actually an entry right here today too. I should have circled that one. I wasn't here yet. I got in here a little late today and I didn't catch this first trade. Um, I was tied up with some other stuff. And I've been coming in a little later. So now that school's out, I've been spending a little more time staying up later at night with my kids and coming in a little later. And so I didn't start trading until this was the first entry I saw. But this was a good entry right here. And this line would have actually been here. And you can see that's a failed break out of this congestion area. And that's why we don't take breakouts, because even if prices are going higher like they did temporarily, they're going to pull back first. And because the trend, everything had been down, this was a great place to go short. It was only good for a scalp, but it was still good. Then your line would have been here. And this is another break higher. And it tried to turn into a breakout pullback long, but just trapped everybody at the long side. But you wouldn't want to go long there because look at those two dojis, and you're going long about two dojis in a row at a resistance area. It's just not a good trade. You need to be thinking short instead of be thinking long. And if you miss a good long there, you just miss it. But the odds are it's going to fail. So this is a short, not a long. That's what I'm talking about. I talked about it a little bit yesterday. This contrarian opinion is that you need to be thinking short when most people are thinking long, and vice versa. You're entering only at your key entry points. But that was the first short. This was a long, just as simply the same pattern on the other side. Prices failed. You got this little doji right down here at the very strong support area, and you go long right there, and it's an easy trade. It was only good for a scalp. They came back real quick and got our runners, so it didn't make anything extra off that other than a scalp. And there was actually a second entry long right here after this little trap. But by the time that triggered, there's just too many. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 overlapping bars. Not a good place to be entering because they're going to snap back. And look what happened. It broke out. And what did it do? It snapped right back. So there you go. That's what's going to happen. Same thing up here. Look, we started getting all these overlapping bars right at the same resistance area. Prices broke out. What happened? And they snapped back and ran all the way down to the low again. By this time, your line should have probably been more down here. And so this is just a great chance to go short. And probably all those people got long up here, got trapped again. And it comes down here, and what happens? Same identical thing all over again. And it's just not, they just aren't good setups. And now this one, there's a lot of overlapping bars right here, but this one this is a failed second entry short. So I marked this one, even though it has all those overlapping bars. If you skipped it for that reason, no problem. But if you saw this trap, you know this is strong support down here. You tried to go lower once, you pulled back, you tried to go lower twice, and that trapped all those shorts on that second entry, that two-legged pullback to the EMA. But you knew not to be going short. There's not enough room to get out here, and at least you should have known better to go short. So if you took that reversal, that was okay, because there's still plenty of time to get out up here before you get back up here. So that was okay. And then hopefully you saw your trend line and you drew it off these first couple of swings. And a lot of times you got to watch the closes like that. Did I know for sure it was off those closes? No. But if you drew it up here, you know that's not a good trend line, and that's not really a good one there either. And that looks a lot better. So that's where I drew it, and sure enough, that's where it turned. On this first one, I wasn't sure. It didn't matter even if you didn't have this, because there's your resistance area, and look at that little trap right there. Let me back out here a little more so this is easier to see. Prices, you had this little inside bar, and they broke higher first and just trapped all those longs and then turned down. So going short right there is a good trade. Another easy scalp, but again, no runners. You're not going to get many runners on days like this, so I usually just scalp out. And of course, as soon as you do, that's when one will take off, but it's not worth hardly risking it. So just scalp out and be done with it and get your money. And because there's just not a lot of room in here to get much of a runner, even if you get lucky and get one. So just scalp out. And We didn't come all the way back down, so no reason to be thinking getting long in here. You don't want to get long till you get down here. And so your next trade, right back up here at the same place again. Now what people are probably going to ask me is, let me put this line back here, why didn't I take these longs? And the reason being, you actually could have taken this one. I think it would have worked, but I'm going to show you why I wouldn't want to take it. Let's just see. The entry would have been 18 and a quarter, and it went to 1950. Look at there. It would have worked. I didn't like it because this low is higher than this low, and then and this low right here is higher than that low, and then all of a sudden here you got this. This is actually a little like double, triple top across here, and I knew this trend line was in there, so there's not much room to come back and forth here. So I don't like that setup. So I'm skipping it, thinking that prices may go ahead and break through here, and that's exactly what happened. So actually, I want to just see if this next one would have worked. These trades are so easy, but 1850 and prices, yeah, that one would have worked too. So there was exactly enough ticks, and that's what I'm always telling you. It's amazing how many times these moves will get just enough ticks to get the scalp, and then it's over. So even if you'd have taken either one of those, they were still good trades. They would have worked. I was done trading by this time. I don't like those trades for the reason I just showed you. There's not really enough room coming back up here, even though they worked. They're not good setups. So, and that's the reason, because of this trend line coming down through here and the fact that we're making lower highs. That's your signal or your clue that prices may be about to break through, because each time when we pulled back, notice how we made lower highs. Excuse me. I get to talking and my throat gets to bothering me when I talk so much. I don't talk much during the day. I'm usually quiet in here to myself, trading with the door shut and locked and the phone's turned off. So, but anyway, we're making lower highs down through, and that's your clue. And notice how when we were coming back each of these other times, we're making kind of equal highs or even higher highs instead. So, but then all of a sudden we start making these lower highs down through here, and that's a good clue that we may be fixing to break out. And then prices did indeed break lower right here. And notice how that swing, this swing, and this swing, they're all at the EMA. They're not even, this one barely got above the EMA, but not much. And there was actually a short right here, but because there wasn't much room, it wasn't worth taking. So I didn't mark it either. This is the one you want to take. Prices finally broke through. They pulled back, and they turned down. That's a breakout pullback short, another nice, easy scalp. And you definitely, if you were still trading, should have taken this one, because this is a second entry short. And this is a double top right here on a breakout pullback, and you can see that right there. And so that was a nice trade, and you can see that one took on off. That was really the best. These were the best two moves of the day almost, besides this one right here. And this is the only trade that would have given you a runner. This one and this one, I think, are the only two that would have given you a runner today. And even then, it wasn't much. So there wasn't much to get. So hopefully that all makes sense to you. And you know, like I said, some people really, especially new traders, they really struggle with this because they're getting short all across here and they're getting long all across here. And I can't remember if I talked about it, but somebody asked me, when would I know, or what would make me want to get long when prices were approaching resistance? And the answer to that, I already answered the guy, but if he's asking that, I'm sure some other people are thinking that. The answer, let me just reverse that. What would make me be thinking to get short anywhere down here while we're approaching support? And there's nothing. I don't want to get short down here. I'm thinking long. Every time prices come down, I'm thinking just the opposite. I'm thinking long. And if I am going to get short, I'm going to wait on the breakout, pull back short right there. And that's when, and if you want to reverse that to the long side, same thing. What's making me think I'm going to get long up here? Nothing. I'm thinking about getting short up here. And look what would have happened if you got short across there every single time today. You would have made money. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. You would have made money. What would have happened every time you got long down here? You would have made money. Every one of these worked. You would have made money every time if you just bought it blindly and didn't even pay any attention to the reversal bars. In fact, you would have made more money by buying it blindly. And that's why I do it quite often. But I don't teach it that way because most people are not good enough at reading the price action, and it can be, if you're not, if you're not, don't have a lot of experience watching a chart, it's hard to do. But the biggest thing is for traders is it's hard to do because they're all thinking wrong. They're thinking I'm going to get short down here, and they're thinking I'm going to get long up here. And and just like, I'm not picking on the trader that sent me the email because there were more than one today, but the main one was about what's making me think about getting long, what would make me want to get long when I'm approaching resistance. And I can tell you right now, nothing. I'm never going to want to get long approaching resistance because I'm thinking getting short there. So hopefully that makes sense to you, the person that asked that. And it works just the same in reverse. What's making me think about getting short down here? Nothing, absolutely nothing. The only time I'm going to get short down here is on this breakout pullback short right here. And you can see prices broke through, because most of the time when prices break through, they're just going to reverse. And that's what they did here. But when we come back and we test it and it holds, and then suddenly it acts as resistance. So what was support? Look, it's now resistance. And so then it's okay to go short on that breakout pullback short, especially since the trend is down. This is the trend line right here, and we've never broken that all day long. And you can see that. And prices continue to go on down the rest of the day. It wasn't very much, but they went down. So that's how it works. I'm going to say this, and then I'm going to call it a day. By the way, it is Memorial Day weekend, so no trading on Monday for me. I believe the market is open till 10:30 or something. But don't waste your time trading Monday. Go take a day off, spend it with your family, do something fun, and take a break from your trading, because in the long run you'll benefit from it, I promise you. So have a great one. This is Mac.